Hi everyone, in today's lesson we're going to talk more about trig equations. So if we recall, we've only spoken about trig equations so far that have been in the form y equals a sine or cos bx plus or minus d, where the absolute value of a is our amplitude, b was the number of cycles or the frequency, and plus or minus d was the equation of our midline, or in other words, our vertical shift. So this is what we know so far. Today, we're going to include now a horizontal shift. Some of you may be wondering, well, where's the c in the formula? We have an a, a b, and a d. Well, here comes the c. So the real equation, if there is a vertical shift, is in this form. Y equals a sine or cos b x plus or minus c, then plus or minus d. Now, this sign here could be replaced with cosine and vice versa. So the only new piece of information is this plus or minus c. Now, this plus or minus c is going to be what we call a phase shift. And a phase shift is a fancy way of saying a horizontal shift. And if you remember from shifts in general, if we have a plus c, that means we go left. It's always opposite of what we think it is. And if we have a minus c, that means we are moving right. So our job for today is going to be to analyze this complicated equation and find all of the missing parts. So I'm going to do an example with you, and then tomorrow in class we'll practice some more. So let's take a look at our example. All right, so why don't you take a couple seconds and write down this example. I took the liberty of writing what the general form should be. And I want you to ask yourself, what do you notice that's different about this form that it's supposed to be in and the form that it's given to you in? Well, let's see if we can analyze it. The a looks like it's -5. So that we can actually, from this point, we can find out our amplitude. So the absolute value of a is going to be our amplitude. So the absolute value of -5 is in fact 5. Now, it looks like we have 3x plus pi, but we have another set of parentheses in here. So the b value, or the number of cycles, looks like it's kind of like a GCF on the outside, and then the x plus or minus c is on the inside. So sometimes we're going to have to do a little manipulation, and it looks like in this problem we absolutely are. So what I want to do is write it in the form as above. So I'm going to divide both sides by 3. And remember, when you do that, you can write it as a GCF followed by an open parenthesis. So these 3's would cancel, we're left with x, and now the middle is pi over 3. So now our equation is written in the form that it should be, where b is this value that's out front. So b, or my number of cycles, is going to be 3. And now that we've pulled out that GCF and we've written it the way it's supposed to, we can now talk about our horizontal shift. So since I have a plus pi over 3, plus means we're going to go to the left. So my phase shift is going to be left pi over 3. Left because it's opposite. Now, if we look at this last letter, number, -4, that is going to be my vertical shift, or my midline. And that midline is going to be the line y equals -4. Remember, a midline is always written as an equation. Okay, so there's other things that we can find from this equation. We can find our period. And we also can find our maximum value, and we also can find our minimum value. So if we recall, our period is found by taking 2 pi and dividing it by b, where B is the number of cycles. So B is my cycles over here. So if my cycles are 3, my period is simply 2 pi over 3. To find our maximum value, we take the midline and we add the amplitude. And to find our minimum value, we take the midline and subtract the amplitude. So since my midline is -4 and my amplitude is 5, -4 plus 5 is 1. That's my maximum value. My minimum value will be found by taking the midline, -4, and subtracting the amplitude, which will give me -9. By finding these max and min values, we are absolutely able now to find our range. Remember, the range of a function is defined as the minimum, comma, the maximum, with brackets around them. So my minimum value is -9, and my maximum value is 1. So that would be my range. And then it looks like the last thing that I didn't find is my interval. So my interval is defined as period over 4. And if we look at our period from over here, my period is 2 pi over 3. And I want to divide that by 4. Remember, when we divide fractions, we keep change flip. So we're going to keep the 2 pi over 3, change the division to multiplication, and flip the 4 over 1 to 1/4. And we can simplify. This 2 will cancel and reduce and make that a 2. So if we multiply the tops with the tops and the bottoms with the bottoms, our top is pi and our bottom is 3. And that is our interval, pi over 3. All right, I'd like you guys to copy down this problem in your notebooks and give this one a try. Hit pause until you've done so and then hit resume when you're ready for the answer. Okay, here's the answer and the explanation. So the amplitude should be the absolute value of the number in front, which is 3. So that's A. The cycles is the B value. This one's already taken out. So your cycles here is just 1/2. Period is defined as 2 pi over B, where B is the number of cycles. So 2 pi divided by 1/2 means we keep the 2 pi, we change the division, and we flip the 2 over 1, which gives us a period of 4 pi. Interval is defined as period over 4. So since my period is 4 pi, and I'm going to divide that by 4, the 4's will cancel, so your interval should have been pi. Your midline is the D value, y equals 6. Your phase shift is this C value, so since it's minus, we're going to go right, pi over 4. The maximum value is found by taking the midline and adding the amplitude. So my midline is 6 and my amplitude is 3 for a maximum value of 9. My minimum value is the midline minus the amplitude. Your midline should have been 6 and your amplitude is 3 for a minimum value of 3. Your range is always your minimum, comma, your maximum in a bracket. So the minimum value is 3 and the maximum value is 9. So that's it. Take a couple seconds, highlight the ones that you got wrong, and make sure you ask us questions in class tomorrow. This is a great preview because eventually we're going to be able to graph these trig equations that have this vertical shift. So it's really important that we can find all of this information first before we get into the graphing. All right, that's it. Have a great night, guys.